Hi, my loves. Welcome to your reading. So, I went ahead and rolled the astrology dice to get a feel for where this message wanted to go today, what needed to come through for the collective. And we landed on Uranus in Aquarius in the 6th house. Right away, what's coming through is a big shift in someone's daily life, their routines, the way they've been living. This feels like a moment of breaking free, of shaking off what's been keeping you stuck or too structured. Now, Uranus. Energy is all about change, sudden shifts, that spark of transformation, almost like a death and rebirth energy. And paired with Aquarius, we get that independent, innovative, unique vibe. It's the rebel, the one who says, I don't have to keep doing things the way they've always been done. Aquarius brings that energy of stepping away from the crowd and embracing something that feels authentic to you. With all this happening in the 6th house, which governs our day-to-day routines, work life, and even health and wellness, I'm strongly picking up that this is more about the structure of your everyday world than anything else. It could be as simple as shifting how you manage your time, or as major as realizing the old way you've been living is no longer aligned with your soul. For some of you, this might even connect to a total lifestyle reset, changing habits, creating new patterns, or finding a healthier balance in your day. Overall, this feels like a fresh rebirth in the little things that make up your everyday reality, and those little changes are going to add up to something much bigger. So I went ahead and pulled a tarot card for us, and what came out was the King of Swords. So right away we've got Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy showing up here. The hidden energy at the bottom of the deck was really interesting too. We had the Emperor along with the Four of Wands, followed by Death and Judgment. Spirit is definitely steering this reading in a very specific direction. So let's go there. What this feels like is a strong masculine energy, this Emperor energy, who is about to go through some kind of major shift. It's giving the sense of someone stepping away from an old structure, an old way of living, or even a rigid routine they've been bound to for a long time. With Death and Judgment both here, this feels like a complete transformation, almost like a karmic reset. Spirit is highlighting independence, breaking free, and stepping into a more authentic version of self. So that's where we're heading with this message. To dive deeper, we're actually going to start with the wisdom of the Oracle deck today and see what's unfolding around this Emperor energy, what's changing in their world, what Spirit wants us to know about this transition, and how this shift is going to impact their path moving forward. So we have here the here and now energy showing up, meaning this isn't something off in the distance. This is very much currently happening. I was already picking up on this before even pulling cards, because it's been coming through so strongly in the collective, and even in personal readings I've been doing recently. Big shifts are definitely unfolding around the divine masculines, and if you resonate with the twin flame journey, you're probably already sensing this. Now, even if you don't label it as twin flame, whoever this Emperor energy is, especially paired with the Four of Wands, it feels clear that we're talking about a counterpart of some kind, someone who is deeply connected to you on a soul level. What I'm really noticing here is that we've got this layering of past, present, and future energy showing up. And Spirit is emphasizing the present moment as the pivot point. It feels like this person is standing right at the threshold of change. They're about to shift something major in their day-to-day life, whether that's their home situation, their commitments, their routines, or even the way they show up in relationships. Whatever it is, it's like they're preparing to rewrite the script of their everyday reality. This isn't just a subtle shift. It's something that's going to redirect the path forward. Let's keep pulling and see where this is going. Yeah, we got orphaned here, and honestly, we can't even make this up. The cards are lining up so perfectly with what came through when we rolled the dice earlier. This is definitely pointing to somebody stepping away from a situation. Now, this doesn't necessarily have to mean a marriage or long-term partnership. It could, but it doesn't have to. What it really feels like is a lifestyle, a way of living. Even just the daily habits and routines this person has been stuck in are about to be completely uprooted. And the key here is, it feels like this is their choice. This isn't something being forced on them, but rather a decision that comes from deep within. That Aquarian energy backing this up is really strong. the water bearer who seeks clarity, epiphanies, and the freedom that comes from breaking old patterns. Aquarius energy is all about independence, breaking the mold, and stepping outside of what feels confining or repetitive. So, for whoever this is resonating with, we're seeing a very real need for freedom and authenticity. It feels like this. Person has reached a point where they just can't keep doing things the old way anymore. Whether it's relationships, career, or just the way they've been structuring their day-to-day life, Spirit is showing that something has to shift, and it looks like they're finally ready to make that move. Okay, let's take a look at the hidden energy and see what else is coming through here. Peace, yeah. And notice here, this is the 23, which breaks down to a 5. 5 always signals change, transition, that restless energy that pushes someone to shift directions. And that's exactly what's showing up. This person wants change. They desire it. They're craving it on a soul level. We have the King of Swords coming out first, and then the Emperor energy right alongside. Both are very strong masculine energies. And what do they represent? Action, decisiveness, authority. This is someone stepping into their clarity and cutting away anything that no longer brings them peace. I feel like whoever this is has truly reached their limit. They've been trying to force a situation to work because it seemed like the right thing to do, maybe what they thought they were supposed to do. But the truth is, it's time to break free. Break free from that cycle, that suffocating routine, that sense of torment that's been weighing them down. And when you pair that with Uranus energy, remember, Uranus rules Aquarius. It's no coincidence how perfectly the dice and cards aligned here. Then to have an air sign show up on top of that, very telling. Some of you are definitely dealing with an Aquarius, but even if not, the message holds the same weight. Uranus is about the unexpected, sudden breakthroughs, independence, radical shifts, innovation. It's thinking outside the box, refusing to settle for the familiar just because it's familiar. And I don't feel like this is a vague influence. It's coming directly from this individual. Whoever they are, they're motivated, they're driven, they're ready to shake things up because the old way has run its course. Their day-to-day life, the patterns they've been stuck in, it simply doesn't work anymore. They're ready for something new, and that change is already in motion. All right, so what's up with this orphaned energy showing up here? Why? I feel like this person, whoever this is, keeps asking themselves why they feel so out in the cold, why they feel disconnected even when they've been trying to do everything right. Deep down, they just want to be happy. We're going to pull the last card here, and then I really want to dig into this why energy, because I feel there's another layer to it that Spirit wants us to look at. But first, let's see what comes through. Okay, so we've got here and now along with to be fair. That's interesting, because again, we see this theme of the scales, of balance, and notice how one card is kind of pulling into the past, the other pointing into the future. It's like this person is standing in the middle of it all, weighing their options, trying to find the middle ground. They know what they want, they know what would bring them peace, but they're also calculating how those choices would ripple out, how it might affect the people around them, and I can't ignore the guilt energy coming through here, like they're asking themselves over and over, why do I want to leave this situation? Why am I not satisfied with what I've built? For some of them, this is tied to that Four of Wands energy we picked up earlier. They've invested so much time, effort, even money into this stability, into this home, into this life. For some, it's literally a living situation they'd have to uproot if they want to be with you. For others, it looks more like a relationship or partnership they've been holding on to out of duty or habit. So here they are, caught in between, heart pulling them one way, responsibility pulling them another, trying to balance those scales and figure out if the risk of change is worth the freedom they're craving. Now let's actually go in and pull on this why, because I feel like Spirit's going to unpack something deeper there. So we've got the 9 of Wands and the 10 of Swords here, and the energy that comes through is this questioning, like, why can't I just keep going with what I already have? Why isn't it working anymore? Why do I feel like I need to end it? For a lot of them, it's even deeper than that. Why didn't I do this sooner? There's a sense of frustration and almost regret that it took them this long to face what they've known inside for a while. At the bottom of the deck, we've got the Lovers and the Queen of Wands, and honestly, that's where the heart of the why lies. And I want to say this gently because for many, this realization is heavy. But the truth is, nothing feels the same since they crossed paths with you. The old routines, the outdated habits, the structures they built for themselves, it's like they just don't fit anymore. They can't go back to living on autopilot now that their soul has been stirred awake. Some of them are straight up angry about it too, because deep down, they already knew what they were clinging to wasn't fulfilling. But when you came in, you illuminated it. You exposed the cracks. And now they can't unsee it. It's like Spirit used you as the light that finally made them face what was already ending. And behind that Queen of Wands, we've got the 10 of Cups and the 2 of Pentacles. That's big. It shows they've been thrown into this space of questioning. Why did meeting you make me realize I want more? Why did you make me dream of something different? Because the truth is, they've fallen. They've caught feelings. And with that, everything shifted. What used to satisfy them doesn't anymore. The day-to-day grind feels hollow compared to the vision of what could be. You've stirred questions of freedom too, like, am I really independent? Or am I chained to obligations I built that no longer serve me? That's the wake-up call. Independence isn't real if you're trapped in cycles that drain you, and that's why this feels connected to that to be fair card too. It's almost like the energy is directed at you, whether they wanted it to be or not. They may not have expected you. They may not have been ready for the way you'd shake things up, but now they can't avoid what's been revealed. The writing was on the wall long before you, but you're the one who sparked their courage to look at it differently. With Uranus energy paired with Aquarius, it's that revolutionary shakeup, an awakening to dream bigger, to live differently, to break free. And with Gemini coming through with the Lovers, it's not just about choice, it's about soul recognition. For some of you, sunflowers could be significant. I'm noticing that on the Queen of Wands here. So yes, we've got this heavy Aquarius Gemini influence, this mental and spiritual restlessness, this spark that says, life can't stay the same anymore. And it's all because of the mirror you've been for them, showing them what they were too scared to face before. Why is to be fair here? Well, we've got the 6 of Cups, the 8 of Swords, and the Empress. And honestly, this takes us right back to what we were just talking about. This person is very much in their head about you. With the 6 of Cups showing up, there's a deep soul recognition here. For many of you, this feels like past life energy, like you've already known each other through multiple lifetimes. It's not just nostalgia, it's karmic memory. Now, the 8 of Swords with the Empress. This is where it gets tricky. The Empress is all about abundance, attraction, divine feminine energy, but paired with the 8 of Swords, it shows how this person feels trapped when it comes to approaching you. And then, right behind that, we have the Queen of Swords and the 3 of Swords. So boundaries have definitely been set here. For some of you, if this person has a 4 of Wands situation, marriage, home life, long-term partnership, and they haven't actually made any real changes yet, that could be what's creating the distance and pain. The To Be Fair card also makes me feel like one or both of you may already be connected elsewhere, which complicates things. It's almost like when you two cross paths, there was already another commitment in place. And so, this person expects you to understand. They can't just leap out of that overnight. Or, if the roles are reversed, maybe they're looking at you with that expectation. Here's the thing though, whoever this masculine energy is, they're very sensitive. They don't want to hurt people, and they're trying to move through this situation in a way that feels fair, balanced, and by the book. Even if what they're in right now is completely outplayed and lifeless, they don't want to bulldoze their way out. So part of them is hoping, maybe even trusting, that you'll understand this process. And with here and now showing up, it's clear they want this connection in the present moment. But for many of them, the reality is it can't just happen impulsively. It's going to take planning, patience, and timing. Why are they showing up here now? Well, we've got the Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Cups, and the 9 of Cups, so right. Away, that's a big deal. For some of you, this Emperor energy is looking at you as everything. You're the Ace of Cups, the Ace of Pentacles. You're literally their wish fulfillment. On a personal level, you represent emotional and material stability, the kind of love and opportunity that feels rare and undeniable. But here's the thing. There's clearly something in their everyday life that they'd have to break free from in order to fully step into this with you. So it feels self-sacrificing in a way. They know it. And I feel like they also expect you to understand that. Because behind all of this, we've got the Devil and the Two of Swords, which tells us they're caught up in some kind of issue or attachment. It could be karmic ties, toxic cycles, or just a binding situation that's weighing them down and blocking them from moving forward right now. Still, they do have plans here. That's what's so important about this. The whole motivation behind this energy, the drive we're picking up even from the Astro dice, isn't just random. It's pushing them to actually strategize, to come up with a way to finally break, free from whatever this is, so they can align with what they know they want. You. So let's pull on this a little deeper. Let's go to the tarot and see, what else do we need to know about this Emperor and what's really going on for the collective here? 7 of Pentacles, 9 of Wands, Ace of Pentacles. Okay, so let's pause with that 9 of Wands clarified by the 10 of Swords and the 2 of Swords. For some of you, this person has really kept you hanging at the crossroads with them, waiting, wondering which direction things are going to move in. And it's not that they don't know what they want, they do, but they also have a very real decision to make. A lot of what's happening here ties back to their day-to-day reality, a routine or foundation they've invested a significant amount of time, energy, and effort into. It's stable in one sense, but it's also what's weighing them down. Now, they do want to extend this Ace of Pentacles toward you, that fresh beginning, that tangible offer. But before they can hand it over, certain things in their life need to be cleared out, phased out, or restructured. That's where the 9 of Wands meets the 10 of Swords. This lingering, heavy energy of endurance mixed with the inevitability of an ending. It's crossroads energy, no doubt about it. A big, life-altering decision is sitting in front of them, and while it feels heavy, I also see that deep down, this person wants it. So let's pull on the Ace of Pentacles. We get the 3 of Swords, the 3 of Pentacles, with Temperance at the bottom. And right there, it confirms what we've been picking up on. There's some sort of third element or outside attachment involved here. For many of them, it looks like a lifestyle or long-standing commitment they've already built. They don't want to cause pain or dismantle everything they've created, which is why there's so much waiting energy around this. But here's the thing. With that Uranian influence showing up, there's also the promise of sudden, unexpected shifts. I keep seeing the Tower, which tells me Spirit is already lining up a breaking point. So, yes, they may be trying to tread carefully, avoiding hurting others, but that cycle, the karmic tie, the devil energy, that's already been played out. This person has actually learned the core lesson from it. What we're witnessing is them trying to step into more independence, more self-truth, rather than repeating old patterns. When we look at the King of Cups sitting behind the 9 of Wands, it speaks volumes. This is someone with a very deep heart, possibly a water sign, who's been quietly battling within themselves. They've got so much love and emotion to give, but the inner war is real. The 9 of Wands plus the 10 of Swords shows their resistance clashing with the need for release. If they bring this ending, yes, they'll lose something familiar, and yes, they may hurt people in the process. But ultimately, it's about breaking free, choosing authenticity, and finally allowing themselves to pour their heart into what they truly desire. Let's take a look at the 7 of Pentacles. Why is it showing up here? Well, we have the Queen of Wands coming out alongside it. And once again, this pulls us right back to you, because the energy here is very clear. The seeds were planted the very first time you and this person crossed paths. For many of you, if this is indeed a counterpart or a soul connection, that initial meeting triggered deep activations within both of you. It feels like from that very moment, something began to grow beneath the surface, even if it wasn't obvious at the time. Now, this person has been standing at a major crossroads, weighing what needs to be released in order to move forward. For some, this could be about a relationship or commitment. But for others, it's tied more to lifestyle or even work, because the 6th house energy is showing here too, which can highlight jobs, routines, responsibilities, or the kind of Service 1 gives to others. So it doesn't have to be about another person specifically. There's just something significant in their daily life they're being asked to let go of. And I feel like both of you may have asked yourselves that big question: why did I meet this person if there are so many obstacles in the way? Why did fate place us in each other's path if we can't be together? At least, not right now. What's powerful is that they're asking themselves the exact same thing. Deep down, though, they already know the answer. They can see where this connection is heading, the way the timeline naturally unfolds. They know this isn't your fault, and they don't blame you. This was orchestrated by something greater, by the universe itself. That meeting wasn't random. It was designed to shake things up, to spark the kind of realizations that force both of you to close out unfinished cycles and step into the next chapter. It was always about growth, activation, and ultimately movement forward. 9 of Wands. Why is it here? Bottom of the deck, we've got the 9 of Swords. So yeah, somebody's carrying a lot of anxiety, even sleepless nights over what to do about an ending that deep down they know is inevitable. They've been putting it off, dragging their feet, because they don't want to look like the bad guy or the bad girl in the situation. But the reality of the 9 of Wands energy is pure exhaustion. It's that moment right before the 10 when the weight gets too heavy and the whole thing finally cracks. And that's exactly what I'm feeling here. This person has reached their breaking point. They've been trying to push through, trying to hold it together, but the exhaustion is undeniable. What's interesting, though, is that this shift feels almost sudden, like it didn't come from logical planning, but from a spark. Something hit them, maybe even in a dream, and they woke, up seeing everything differently. That's very much Uranus energy at play. Unexpected change, jolting realizations. Now their day-to-day life doesn't look the same to them anymore. The routines, the habits, the structures they've been clinging to, they suddenly feel outdated, unfulfilling. This person is starting to develop their own independent perspective about what actually matters, how they want their life to unfold, and where their true happiness lies. It's almost like the old lens has cracked, and now they can't help but see their reality with new clarity. Well, Ace of Pentacles, why is it here? Right, so it's clarified by the 5 of Pentacles. And again, this is showing me that whatever foundation they've built, whatever they've been holding on to, it's shaky. It's bound to leave somebody out in the cold. You can really see the turmoil in this energy. There's a lot of mental conflict, a lot of stress. It's heavy, and honestly, I think this person has already been through the ringer. At this point, they don't really have many options left, except to embody that Aquarian energy, to think differently, to break free of the old box they've been in. Because if they don't, they're only going to keep themselves trapped. The thing is, once these thoughts and this new awareness come in, once this energy takes hold, it's not something you can just brush off. It's already in their field, already in their consciousness, and it's not going to simply disappear. That's why there's this looming sense of inevitability here. For many of them, though, walking this path might come with real costs: monetary, loss, reputation damage, maybe even disappointing people who expected them to play a certain role. The 5 of Pentacles speaks directly to that, the risk of being abandoned, judged, or misunderstood. And then we see the Chariot. So again, this person is being pulled in 2 directions. It's the same energy as that 2 of Swords up here. The crossroads, the fork in the road where neither option feels simple, the shift ahead is massive. And the difficult part? A lot of people in this person's circle, their group, their family, their community, whoever this is, aren't going to understand the choice they're being pushed to make. It won't make sense to them. And I really feel like this person has some kind of reputation, some image they've carefully built. And that's exactly why they feel torn between 2 completely different paths. I do feel that if you're resonating with the scenario where they're still in another connection, it really does seem like the emotions there have run dry. It's not about love anymore. It feels more like something that's being held together simply because of what's already been built. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Ace of Swords, and that tells me this person already knows the truth. With the Hanged Man, it's clear they've had that epiphany, that moment of clarity where everything kind of clicks. The challenge is, they're nervous. They're hesitant about letting something go, about hurting people in the process. and that's a real weight on them. Still, with the Eight of Cups and the Emperor showing up, it's undeniable. They already know they're meant to walk away. The difficulty here is that walking away doesn't just mean leaving a connection, it means an entire lifestyle change. Their sense of status, security, or even identity could shift dramatically, and that's not easy for anyone to face. So yes, it feels like the choice isn't simple, but what's important is that the awareness is already there. They can't unknow what they know now. Meeting you has already triggered this massive activation, and as they move further down this path with a connection of this magnitude, the activations just keep coming. And once you've awakened in that way, you can't really look at life or love the same anymore. 10 of Swords. Why is it here? Yeah, straight up, this is clearly about someone being pushed toward making a big change. Death and rebirth energy. It's something that's been a long time coming, though it's carried a lot of stress and weight along the way. What really stands out to me here is that once this person finally takes that step, there's a brand new day waiting for them on the other side. Right now, though, it's like they can't quite see the forest for the trees. The heaviness of the situation, the anxiety about the unknown, it clouds their vision. But deep down in their soul, they know what's true. They know what's waiting is worth it. The challenge is actually moving through it. Because to get there, it means taking those hard steps. And in the process, inevitably hurting people we don't really want to hurt. But sometimes, we outgrow certain people, places, or situations. There's no easy way to tell someone that you've simply outgrown what once fit so well, especially when you've invested so much time, energy, and even pieces of yourself into it. That's the vibe here. It's bittersweet, but necessary. Why is the Two of Swords here? The Magician. Okay, so listen. This person already knows deep down that they're manifesting a path forward, almost like they're trying to carve their way through the forest where things feel unclear. The truth is, the seeds have already been planted, and they've been sitting with this energy for quite some time now. A decision can't be put off forever. There comes a point where real, tangible steps have to be taken. And remember, we did see the King of Swords alongside the Emperor at the very beginning of the pre-shuffle. That right there tells me this person is fully aware of what they want. There's clarity, at least internally. The issue isn't about knowing, it's about doing. They're actively manifesting, but manifestation alone isn't enough. It's about translating that into action, and that's where the tension lies. For some of them, this leap is going to be uncomfortable, even scary, because it requires leaving behind what's familiar. But the energy here is pointing toward a breakthrough. They know the direction, and now it's about having the courage to move. Why the Two of Swords, Two of Wands, Three of Pentacles, and Temperance? It's like this person already knows the truth deep down, and yet they're sitting on it, almost hesitating. There could definitely be a timing factor at play here. Something about waiting for the right moment, aligning things in their external world before taking that leap. But no matter how you look at it, this is someone who wants something different. They're manifesting a new path, envisioning it, even calling it in energetically. But at the same time, they're also the one putting up the block. It's like they're holding the door open and shut all at once. Now, why the 10 of Swords here? With the Page of Swords, it shows me this person is actively searching, observing, trying to figure out the details of how to end something. I get the sense this is happening in private, most likely at night when the world is quiet and they can't sleep. Their mind races. Their thoughts circle around the same questions. How do I close out what's no longer serving me? And where? Do I go from here? They know they can't rest until they've at least sketched out some sort of plan, some direction forward, because the truth is, it doesn't make sense for them to stay where they are. That Four of Wands they've built, it might look stable and perfect from the outside, like it checks all the boxes of material success, but internally, it feels hollow. They may have the house, the structure, the picture-perfect life, but inside, they're resonating more with the Five of Pentacles, lonely, disconnected, unfulfilled. The thing is, they're not realizing that they already hold the key to free themselves. It's right there in front of their face. But what I'm picking up right now is that with the Page of Swords showing up, clarified by the hidden energy of the Six of Cups and the Eight of Swords, this person is actively watching, planning, and maybe even gathering information. They're trying to figure out how to do this in a way that causes the least amount of damage. It feels like strategy, like they want all of their ducks in a row before they officially walk away, almost as if they're setting themselves up in advance so the transition is easier. We also see the Empress and the Queen of Swords showing up, and then behind that, the Queen of Pentacles paired with the Four of Pentacles. For some of you, this points strongly to your person still being connected elsewhere, perhaps even in a committed situation. And I feel like you may have set boundaries with them, because despite knowing in their heart that situation is over, they've stayed in it and kept you in the dark about the details. That Queen of Pentacles energy tied to the Four of Pentacles really highlights the financial piece here. It feels like money, resources, or stability could be one of the main reasons they're hesitant about ending something. But then, the Nine of Pentacles and the Wheel of Fortune come through. So the desire for freedom, self-sufficiency, and a new chapter is definitely here. It's just that they've been waiting for the right moment to fully liberate themselves. I'm going to pull in this other energy. Because what is this thing, right? What exactly is this person still attached to? Let's take a closer look. We've got the Five of Wands, the Seven of Swords, the Ace of Swords, and the Hanged Man. So, whatever this is, it looks like they already know the truth about it. They see it for what it is. But here's the conflict. Making a change would stir up some drama in their daily life, and they know that. That's why they've been hanging back. Still, with the Eight of Cups and the Emperor showing up, it's clear they're already aware that some sort of strategy is needed here. Now, what exactly is this energy? Well, Spirit may not be giving a direct answer because it'll be different for each of you. For some, this could be tied to work. For others, maybe a connection or even family obligations. But look at this. The world wanted to pop out, which says loudly, this is a cycle that needs to close. Then we've got the Lovers and the Queen of Wands right behind that. And honestly, this feels like a very specific message for some of you. If this person had to choose between you and something they've been holding on to, something from their past, they're choosing you. That much is clear, but here's the kicker. They can delay it, they can stall, they can act like it's not urgent, but deep down, they know the decision is already made. The only reason they keep putting it off is because they don't want to hurt certain people in the process. Plus, there's a sense that walking away would cost them something financially as well. That's a big factor in their hesitation. But energetically, the choice has already been made. The rest is just them dragging their feet. So why the Queen of Wands with the Six of Swords? Well, it's showing me that they've been slowly, steadily making their way toward you. Honestly, it feels like they've been on that path ever since the seeds were first planted between the two of you. With the Two of Swords and the Hermit, this person is deep in an internal decision right now. This isn't surface level, it's something they've been quietly wrestling with. Then we see the Seven of Swords and the Ace of Swords right behind that. So yes, there's strategy here, but there's also the undeniable truth. They can't keep lying to themselves anymore. They know what they feel, and they know what direction they're being pulled in. Now, what are they actually going to do next toward you? We've got the Nine of Pentacles, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Star. That tells me a couple of things. First, this is not going to be rushed. It's slow and steady, but it's moving. The Star here is beautiful confirmation. They see you as their destined partner, their guiding light. More Aquarius energy showing up, which really speaks to that sense of higher purpose and liberation that's running through this connection. Here's the thing. They're actively working on how to free themselves, how to step into alignment with this truth. For some of them, it might take time, and there might be practical pieces they need to put in order first. But make no mistake, they're headed in your direction. And the core of it, you're the reason behind all of this movement. You've sparked something in them, something that made them stop conforming, stop staying trapped in a cycle that didn't feed their soul. This isn't just about romance. This is about karmic release. You've triggered something that's helping them break through heavy past life karma they've been carrying for a long time. They're learning lessons they might never have faced without your energy coming into their life. And that's exactly what true counterparts do. They catalyze growth, healing, and freedom. You've become that mirror for them, and because of that, they're on the path to finally liberating themselves. I know for some of you, it feels exhausting. Like you've been the one putting yourself out there, showing up, waiting with patience, while this other person seems to just sit back, unmoving. And I get it. That can feel unfair. But what I'm picking up here is that this whole situation feels like something that was already written into the soul contract between you two. For you, it may be about cultivating patience, trust, and surrender. But for them, this is a major life lesson. They're being pushed to think for themselves, to question what they've been told is normal, and to step into their own independence. And right now, they're realizing that the life they've built isn't actually freedom at all. It's a prison. It looks good on the outside, maybe even feels safe, but at the core, there's no real independence, no true choice. They're only just starting to see that, even though for so long they were convinced they had control. And here's the thing. Behind the star energy, we've got the 5 of Wands and the 6 of Wands. That tells me, yes, there's conflict. Yes, there are going to be challenges and pushback, but ultimately there is victory here. This isn't going to be a smooth, easy process of just walking away from an established lifestyle and into this connection. It's layered, it's messy, it's karmic. But the end result? There's triumph. There's a breakthrough. And don't miss this. The Queen of Cups sits behind that, which tells me this isn't just about the struggle or the fight. This ends in deep emotional fulfillment, love, and heart-centered connection. Wow, okay guys, that was definitely a very specific message coming through for some of you out there. I'd really love to know if this resonated with you. Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed the reading, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps the community grow. All right, my loves, sending you all so much love and light until next time. I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.